Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show, Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxi.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis. And I've made a mistake already. Forgot the full screen of the thing, so our icons were all screwed up.
Oh, okay.
How you doing, Terry?
I'm all right. How about you?
I am well. Jen, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
You sound like you're in a good mood.
Yeah, I'm in a pretty good mood.
Good. We got some topics tonight. More topics than normal. We got 4 again. This is the second time in a row we've had 4 topics. I'm doing far too much work for the show.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we will talk about exactly none of them.
Yes, that's correct. We will talk about none of them.
All you gotta do is be like, Trump won, Trump won, Trump won, Trump is winning.
Yeah, that's. I was talking to Terry. I'm not sure if we were live at the time, but no, it was before you showed up when I mentioned that we've had all these topics because there's nothing in the news except for Trump. Yeah. So I tried to make a point of having topics that did not specifically pertain to him directly. They were all things in the news that orbited him, but did not specifically talk about him. So I did my best to try to get around that because you can't go anywhere or do anything, at least for the last 5 days, when it comes to news without seeing Trump everywhere. Yeah. So
it really is basically a big freak out because the thing with him deporting people. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Canada's on board too. They are planning for like 500,000. So we're on board with it too.
Yeah, it's
Jackson's his favorite Green Day song, "Good Riddance."
He just keeps writing executive order after executive order. He keeps writing them and doing them and getting them done. And people are like, yo, slow the fuck down. Because the news has just lost their mind. How can they report on anything else when he, puts out, oh, here's 5 more. Oh, and here's another 5 more. And they just can't keep up. They just can't keep up. So everything is just, even the Drudge Report, which I don't use very often for news. I used to just go CNN and Fox and pick 1 or 2 topics from there, and then maybe I hear something from somebody on Twitter, and that's usually the 3. If nothing comes up, I'll go out to Drudge Report and try to pick something off of there because they usually have something kind of wonky that you can just grab. And nope, all Trump except for the very last one.
All the time.
Oh, yep. It's just been crazy trying to get news. What I should have done. Today's Wednesday. What I should have done is watched Philly D. I'm sure he would have came up with a couple of topics that could have stole off of him. But
the only other thing I could think of that you would have found is they're still kind of crying about Elon's salute, even though it was pretty much a movement of passion.
Oh, I love that. That is my favorite thing so far of the Trump nonsense. The left has decided to try and throw at the wall to see what sticks. The Nazi Elon salute is just brilliant. I'm a big fan of that one.
A lot of those topics are really interesting to cover. I have a tendency to stay away from the more sensational stuff. I find if you get something on the show that's sensational, we spend the entire night talking about it. It just takes over everything. So Elon's salute, the chick with the Lyft driver who, is too fat. Things like that. I'm well aware of them. They're out there in the news, but do I really want to talk about them?
I don't really I don't mind mentioning them because they do exist, but I don't want to feed them any more attention than they already have.
Exactly.
No, I would say they're probably good pre-show topics because that's kind of like the less serious side of the stream where like we can talk about the Real Game Awards and a trans person freaking out because they won an award. That's probably not a story that we would cover on the actual show, but I think it's like a good thing to discuss in the pre-show where it's like a lot more lighthearted and frivolous.
Yeah, and the sensational stuff, they kind of invoke sensational responses, Yeah. You get somebody who's overweight and trying to push legislation and get people fired and blah, 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 blah. And over on Rumble, I'm going to say that, fat bitch, blah, 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 blah. Because I feel free to say that over on Rumble. I'm not supposed to say it here, even though I just did. Yeah. But that's the reason why I kind of stray from it, because I don't want anything that has a potential radical opinion tied to the YouTube show, because then it gets a flag.
Well, it's
I think we'd probably just all agree anyway. Like, it wouldn't be much of a discussion about the fat chick, because, like, I can't imagine there'd be a lot of people saying, no, she's right. That Lyft driver should have destroyed his car to accommodate her size. Like, no one's going to say that. So there would be a short topic anyway.
Yeah. Did you see my tweet on this?
Maybe.
To not talk about this, or let's go ahead and talk about it.
Well, it's
I have. Go ahead, Jen.
It's something that Pat he shared a clip from a lady, and she had an awfully good point about that. And it's that a lot of this stuff that we get focused on is really just feeding into our drama, and we have the opportunity to choose which drama that we pick to really focus on. So, you know, if you know that, like, this fat bitch or you know, the stupid salute shit is just nonsensical.
Yeah.
You know, I understand why they're doing it. Drama sells, but there's more important drama we could focus on that's more entertaining.
Never.
Well, I kind of have a story that kind of follows along with this Lyft drivers. I had my boss at one of my jobs was a very, very overweight woman. And she wanted to go to lunch. She says, why don't we go to lunch? I was like, oh, okay. She says, let's go to lunch. I said, all right. So, she's like, who wants to drive? And I said, I'll drive. She says, oh, cool. I've never been in a Corvette before. I was like, yeah, whatever. So it's kind of cold. So we go to get in the car, and I sit down, and she piles in next to me. She's close to 300, and the seats are leather, so they're not cloth. Cloth seats are a little easier on you when it comes to temperature. Cold, hard leather, different story. It's like sitting on ice in a cold car. So she was in a skirt, a tent skirt kind of thing, like not that it was a tent because of her size, but it was that kind of skirt where it was like the kind of skirt, pleated skirt that schoolgirls wear kind of deal. So she sat down and she turned. I told her how to get in the car, because you have to do it a specific way to get in. That affects everybody, not just her and her weight. But she got in and sat down and turned around. And of course, the skirt did not stay underneath her. She basically sat down with her underwear on the car, but the seat bunched up behind her butt, up her back, because that's just how sometimes when you get in the car, it just puts pressure on your butt when you get in, and it lifts your skirt up. So understanding that she had her warm legs on the cold seat, she pushed her feet on the bottom of the car and lifted her ass up in the air so she can fold her skirt underneath her ass, so that it wouldn't be cold on skin, and broke the frame of the seat.
Yeah.
My car is not a cheap car. So the fact that she was able to break race car seats just by leaning back, I don't blame the Lyft driver for not wanting her in my car.
No.
I don't want her breaking my car. So, but he got fired, and now they're being sued because she's too fat.
Well, I hope that Lyft wins. I hope that this crazy black rapper lady does not actually succeed in getting money out of Lyft for this nonsense.
Well, American legal system, who knows what's going to happen with this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why I said I hope. I'm not going to predict what's going to happen, because I can't. But I hope that sanity prevails.
We'll see. It depends on how much woke she gets. If she gets like a woke people, then she'll probably get something out of it. A lot of these bigger companies just say, "Oh, here's $100,000. Shut the fuck up." You know?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That's probably the most common outcome for a lot of these nonsense lawsuits. The company just is like, just give them some money to make them go away. It's not worth the bad press.
Well,
exactly.
That the easiest solution to this is the one that the fat activists have a problem with, which is when you go to order a cab or a Lyft or whatever, you tell them things like that first. because there are drivers who have cars or vehicles that are big enough to carry you.
Yeah. When you sign up for a platform, you should be required to put that information in your application.
Basically, it's like, sorry, you don't, like they don't share that information with anybody else, but at least it lets the driver, it sends it to the drivers that are more relevant in the first place.
Lyft already has a program for this called Lyft XL.
Yeah,
some of those bigger vehicles, Terry, and I'm just selling, like you're never going to travel anyway, but if you ever did, those are more comfortable a lot of times. So just order them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they cost more, so I'm sure that there's a reason to incentivize people to take them. But no, I legitimately think any business should be allowed to refuse service to any customer for any reason. Like if I have a shop and I decide I don't want to serve Mexicans in my, like I should be allowed to make that decision. I'm only hurting my own business by turning away customers.
Yeah, it's indentured servitude if you don't.
Yeah, like if I decide, you know what, people named John, they're all jerks. I'm going to make you tell me your name before you walk in the door. If your name is John, get the fuck out of my shop. I think if I own a shop, I should be allowed to have that policy. It's a stupid policy, but I should be allowed to have it.
Yeah. Well, this is the guy who wouldn't bake a cake for the gays. Remember that guy?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember.
That's exactly his plight. He should be able to decide whether he wants to voluntarily enter into a business relationship with a client. There's no forcing somebody to be in a business.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think he had every right to refuse, in the same way that if you're a Muslim and someone says, can you make me a bacon cheeseburger, you have every right to say, no, we don't do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be upset. I'm a big fan of the bacon cheeseburger. And if I went to a Muslim restaurant and they didn't have it, I'd be like, all right, what else you got?
Exactly.
I'm not going to say, no, go out and slaughter yourself a pig. Or everybody's fired. I'm suing. Ridiculous.
Well, like a lot of things, Tier, if you were to get on to say a ride and you were to lie about your weight and say you get killed by it, your lawsuit is now in question. Yeah. At least for your family, it is now in question because you knowingly lied about something that you signed for, at least by going in onto that ride. Yeah. That has happened. And it's actually horrific because there's sometimes the parents can't do everything that they'd like to do. At best, the business might pay for the funeral because they feel bad, and they don't want their business to look bad.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If someone were to get a Lyft car and their profile says they're 130 and they show up and they're 300 pounds, sorry, buddy, this doesn't match your profile, and I'm fully backed up by the company because it says you have to have an accurate weight on your profile. So, blah 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 there. But even if it's close. You
could even turn it against them and say, no, you can't be my client, my customer, because it says here I'm waiting for a 130-pound person, and you're clearly not that person.
Yeah.
And then you just say, well, I'm just going to wait here for my client to show up. And
start doing exercises.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose some weight right here in front of you. That's the only way you're getting in this car. That's pretty funny.
It's harsh, and I feel a little bit for them, but at the same time, though, it's still their personal responsibility to take care of themselves.
I don't feel bad for them at all. I think if you let yourself become a 600-pound blob of fat, then there are consequences to that. You didn't have to become a 600-pound blob of fat. That was a choice, a bad choice, but a choice, and deal with the consequences.
Well, I'm not exactly a light person. I'm not exactly a small person. So if I had to charter a ride with Lyft XL, I wouldn't be upset about it. It's no big deal.
No. I mean, especially if they're upfront. If they say, our drivers have a weight limit of, I don't know, picking a random number, 350 pounds. If you weigh in excess of this, you are required to use the Lyft XL service instead. Then yeah,
everybody who works for Lyft should have a scale in their car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 6'3", 227 this morning. My height hasn't changed. My weight keeps changing. Yeah. So I think I'd probably qualify for a Lyft XL, being my height and weight.
Well, I think strictly speaking, Lyft XL is not for fatties. It's actually for groups. So
really?
the idea is, if you've got, say, 6 people all going to the same place, like a family going on a vacation or something, you'll get a Lift XL because there's bigger cars with more seats.
Oh, like vans and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I only know because I saw Asmongold's video and he looked it up. He was like, what the fuck is Lift XL? He looked it up and it's like, oh, it's for groups. If you've got like a large number of people, they can send you a bigger vehicle so that you can all fit in the same one.
There should be a plan for people who have sports cars, you know, like Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff like that. You can order up a Ferrari to come pick you up. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here at the bar,
demand for that.
That would probably be awesome. Expensive as hell, but that would be fun. I'd call up Lyft and say, hey, could you send me a BMW?
No, but the expensive as hell would be part of the appeal. Because the only reason you would hire such a service is to showcase the fact that you can afford such a service. Like, there's no reason to hire a BMW to take you to the airport, except to show off that you can afford to hire a BMW to take you to the airport.
Which makes you wonder if you have enough money to order a BMW to take you, why not just take your own BMW?
Sure, but my point is the only reason to pay for such a luxury service is to show that you can afford it. It's the same as flying first class. It's like, if you're flying first class and it's like a 90-minute flight from Sydney to Melbourne, you're doing that to show that you can afford it. No reason you can't sit in economy for an hour and a half. But you don't want to. You want to show that you've got money.
I could see a ridiculously rich person doing that specifically because they don't want to leave their car at the airport. You know, like hire one just so you still have your BML comfort while you go to the airport, and then you get picked up by one so your car is safe at home.
That's a perfectly valid reason.
Keywordam's asking Minions of the Zoo, can you share photos on the stream? I can, but it's not legal to share dick pics on the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to end up with that.
What kind of photo is this? Is this a photo you're going to send me to share, or is this something that you want to see a picture of my car or something? I don't understand.
Maybe she wants a picture of the fatty. I don't know.
No, that's too much weight on my computer.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, Keywordam. She was sharing feet pics too, and I only know that because of a guy I was watching earlier, and he was looking at a bunch of her photos, and all of a sudden feet pics came up, and he was like, "Not those kind of feet, no, not those kind of feet."
I genuinely do not understand why people get off on feet. That is one of the more peculiar fetishes to me.
The one that she posted in chat.
Like, obviously, if
holy mackerel.
Well, if you get off on feet, then you get off on feet. That's fine. Do what makes you happy. I don't understand it.
It just shows up, but it's because the Wednesday show. Wonder if I can somehow get the gaming screen to show it. Nope, that's going to bring up Heroes. Nope, that's going to be Heroes too. I'm screwing with the show. Sorry.
She looks like she ate both her lawyers. I don't know if I can share it. See.
No, I can't. We don't use StreamYards to broadcast.
Not really. Like it's there, but
we use StreamYards as a meeting place, but we broadcast the show through OBS, and I don't have a screen set up in OBS specifically just to show an image.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I could do it.
With the Storm logo up instead.
Well, to give me 5 minutes, I can make one, but at the moment, I don't have.
That ain't me. You take that back.
And Key says you with the foot avatar. I mean, it's a Monty Python reference. Like, blame them. Blame them for having a foot as their icon.
I actually have a Wednesday show with media. I wonder if that would work. Screws up the avatars, but
yeah, I don't like that her face is where my avatar should be. I'm like, no.
still can't show it properly. I could probably do it. It would take me some time, but I could. I think everybody gets the idea just from what they were able to see with the
yeah.
picture.
She ate Jen. Yeah, that's what happened.
she's plumpy. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm like Pinocchio's dad in the part of the movie where he's in the whale.
Do not eat Jen. Don't eat Jen.
I did see a picture of the fatty in the back of like a van, and like she took up the entire back. Not like the back seat, but like the trunk where you like store like like bags and stuff. Is like she was sitting in the back of it, and she like took up the entire thing. And Gunty wants to put googly eyes on my avatar so they jiggle when I talk. That'd be funny. If you do that, I will be amused.
The show could use a refresh. I got to figure out. I don't want it to look like anybody else's, but I think it's about time that we made some changes to the screens.
Well, I mean, there's a change being made every second, updating at the top of the chat. It used to say 923.06. Now it says 923.07. And it just keeps changing every second like that.
I change my avatar basically every time Blue makes me a new one. So there's that too. I do have the one with the gun still. I just,
Yeah, Kefki made me the zombie fort. I like it. Well, she made it as like a Halloween thing, and then I just like, no, I'll keep it.
So yeah, I try to stay away from the sensationalistic stories because it's too easy to say something. That's why I really don't talk about the jab or anything along that lines here anymore. If I'm going to talk about that kind of stuff, I'll talk about it on Rumble where it's safe. So, or relatively safe. I don't know. Has anybody ever been kicked off of Rumble for saying anything?
No.
They're pretty. They're pretty open. I imagine if I were to broadcast to Twitter, it probably would be safe there too.
Yeah, probably.
It's just so weird. I've watched other people broadcast to Twitter, and there's no way unless you catch the broadcast live. How do you hunt down a video on Twitter? There's no management system. I'm almost certain that
you can't.
Yeah, there's no management system.
The only time I've seen a consistent stream was when California was on fire, and I still don't know whose stream it was.
I've literally never seen it. I've only ever seen this person is live right now. Watch them now.
Yeah.
But I've never seen, so and so was live 6 hours ago. Here's the replay if you want. I've never seen that on Twitter.
Yeah. There's just no management system. If they had another label on the left-hand side that said videos, like they have for messages and Grok and all that kind of stuff, if they just put one in for videos and you were able to click on that, and it would bring up a menu of the people that you followed, and then a listing of their videos, so you can actually track it down, a management system, and then it would be much better. But the way it is right now,
it would be. But,
it's not really
sadly,
usable.
you are not as rich as Elon, so you're not the one who bought Twitter.
Yeah. I'm sure people have nagged him about it because it's so much easier to watch something on YouTube and even Rumble. The reason Rumble is not that easy to watch is because people aren't used to it. It's not like it's difficult to navigate the menus. They're there. They work the same way. It's just into a different place and they mean different things. But if you get used to it, Rumble's every bit as user-friendly as YouTube is.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think the real reason people don't watch Rumble is that no one's on it. Like the content creators are not there. Typically, the only people on Rumble are the people who get kicked off YouTube or who are on Rumble because they're worried they'll get kicked off YouTube.
Yeah. A lot of the entertainment. Yeah, you're right though. A lot of the entertainment and inconsequential stuff is definitely on YouTube, where the more serious things are on Rumble.
Yeah, like if I want to watch, there's this YouTube channel, Hey Done. If I want to watch him play Pokemon, I can't do that on Rumble because he doesn't stream on Rumble because he's not going to get kicked off YouTube.
Hey, Johnny. Johnny Hellcat's in chat, our Thursday night host.
Yes. It reminds me, we never actually said hi to the chat.
No, we didn't. You guys are derelict in your duties.
Well, the way
see how quickly I blame that on you?
The way that I've noticed that Rumble works is pretty much the same way that Twitch does, in the sense that it's so much more of the vocal referral. So for people that I've noticed have grown a little bit, it really is because their YouTube was bigger. Like their YouTube was bigger. So, you know, a lot of their YouTube fans will go to Rumble with the hope that like if something did happen to YouTube, they at least have Rumble.
Yeah. Well, the deal here is if you want to see what your subscriptions are so you can watch a video from the people that you subscribe to, you go to youtube.com/subscriptions. If you want to do it on Rumble, it's rumble.com/myfeed. Not particularly different, just different words, but it does exactly the same thing. So, like I said, there's people that are dead set against ever watching Rumble. I'm like, why would you not? It's specifically good. Granted, there's problems with chat as far as being able to do polls and that kind of stuff. But the chat on Rumble is way more timely than the chat on YouTube. If you type something on chat, I'm going to see it in about a second or maybe two.
Yes.
Where on YouTube, it's 12 to 15 seconds later.
Yeah.
So.
And it's really, especially with like how quickly we cover topics. If someone said something in YouTube chat, I've got to think back to what we were talking about that they're probably referring to. Whereas in Rumble, it's like immediate, it's like, well, they're obviously referring to the thing that I just finished saying.
Yeah. But to get back to it, why don't we go ahead and say hello to people in chat, especially now when there's a lot of people here.
Yeah. Well, mine is still easy. Hello to Kubadam, hello to Tia, and hello to Jack Dunsky.
Wow. Not many people, no people chatting on Rumble.
Nope.
Jen's got all the hard work. Hit it, Jen.
Let me go up.
You're going to be going up for a while.
It's so much Keeverdam at the moment. Hi, Keeverdam, by the way. It only looks like a lot. Hi, Hammer. Hi, Rotten Corpse. Hi, Terry. Hi, Tier. Hi, Jack. Go down. Hi, JB. See, I found you. Hi, Johnny. And yeah, that was it. Oh, wait, there's 6. Hi, 6. I was wrong. There's one more. 6.
6. Jack, give me attention. I guess I should at least touch on the topics as far as explain them, because it's already half past. We haven't even looked at them yet.
I know. You got sidetracked by the fat chick.
It's a feature of the show to not usually talk about the topics.
You'll never hear me complaining about it.
Yeah.
Hi, Blakester. Since you came in late.
Being annoyed by my phone to get the whatchamacallit, the pull up for the music. 4 topics tonight. Repaused. I don't know if you guys have heard, but the United States is planning on freezing federal aid for 90 days. So they came out with a memo saying, we're freezing it. And everybody said, we're freezing it. And then about an hour before the show, they said, oh, we're not going to do that.
No.
And then just as the show went live, they said, oh, yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay, good.
All right. Guys, make up your minds. Whatever. RFK is facing confirmation tonight. I don't know if that's over with or if they're still doing it. I don't know how late that runs. He's probably the most controversial of all of them. And then the Laken Riley Act, which basically ends catch and release, forces people who have come to the border to stay in Mexico. That was signed into law today.
Good.
And then finally, Jim Acosta's being a dick. So that's the final.
Kill surprise.
I know. What? Jim Acosta being a dick? I never thought that would happen. Yeah. So he announced that he's quitting CNN. Yay.
Yep.
So that's good news. Nothing but winning, I'm telling you. The last two weeks has just been win after win after win. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm literally waiting for something to happen because it can't be this good. He's doing everything he said he was going to do and then some. He said, well, we're just gonna get rid of the illegal aliens who are violent. And then he started getting rid of everybody. It's like, all right. I mean, he said he was going to get rid of everybody, but he said he was going to focus on people who are violent first. What's happening is he's going to find the violent guy, and when he gets there, he finds 5 other people who are not violent, who are also illegal, and he takes them too.
Well, as you would. There's
so
no reason not to.
He went after one, but got 6.
Yeah.
I can't help but side with that because the other 5 are still hiding the 6th.
Yeah.
You're abating a criminal.
That tends to be a crime in most places.
It just saves money because we don't have to go looking for those people later.
And
right here, we'll just take them too.
Yeah. And Kevin says catch and release sounds like something you do to wildlife. I believe it's a fishing term. Fishing is where that originally
catch and release is
and then you release it immediately.
Yeah, but that's what they called the law that Biden implemented was catch and release into the internal United States instead of catch and retain, which was the original retain them outside the United States at the entrance to the wall.
See, I prefer catch and eliminate, but
that was don't catch, just eliminate. That's another topic that I didn't want to speak about, but Kieran didn't mention it was Selena Gomez blubbering on the TikToks, tickety-tockety. That's another one that I was like, if I start getting into that, because we talked about it for a moment earlier on Twitter with some of the people, and I was like, even people on the left are like, girl, shut up, because you have to look at the person who's talking. Selena Gomez is a singer. She's got billions of dollars and all this kind of stuff. Yet she calls the Mexican people her people, even though she's only half Mexican. The other half is Italian, and her father has never been in her life. So how are these people? She's an American born in America. How are the Mexicans her people? Why isn't her people the American people? Why is she flying a Mexican flag?
Well, because she's a traitor.
Kinda. I'm gonna get all hot about this because, God damn it, America. I appreciate you bringing it up, Kieran. It gives me a second for a little repose here, but I think I'm gonna avoid that.
And I actually agree with Gunsky. He says, "What's the point of catch and release? Why do anything? Yeah, if you're just going to release them, then what's the point of catching them?"
I guess so they can at least give them a date to come back that they're not going to listen to.
Oh yeah, well that's very helpful.
Yeah, certainly is. Well, we have 4 topics to talk from. Unless you guys have something else you want to talk about, I'm going to take a second and set up the poll. So I'm going to let you guys decide what you want to do.
I'm sharing Hammer's glee that Jim Acosta is going away.
I share that glee, and I'm happier because the guy was too dumb to hold on to his job for at least a little bit longer. Yeah. He's even in a worse boat than Don, because at least Don was let go, so he can get back pay for it.
I still love the clip of Trump. He's like, "No, you can't get a question. Your organization is terrible. You are fake news." He just refuses to take questions from Jim Acosta.
Probably the best part of the interview. It was him at the podium, right?
Yeah. It's like Jim was shouting his question, and Trump wanted a question from someone else. He's like, "Don't be rude."
in that way that only Trump can say that.
Yeah.
Be rude. I can't do Trump.
I can't do Trump.
No illusions about not being able to do Trump. That's where he elbowed that female staffer, wasn't it? Acosta?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he took the microphone from her and gave her an elbow.
It sounds familiar. I wouldn't be surprised.
It sounds like Jim Acosta, that's for sure.
Jim Acosta acted like a jaded ex. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Rumble has forbade me from running the poll there.
Yes.
So the poll is on YouTube. Tonight's band is ABBA. Do you know what ABBA stands for?
It's the names of the people in the band. It's the surnames.
Yeah, it's the first.
It's the first names, rather.
It's the first letter of the first names from each person, yeah.
Yeah. Agnetha, Benny, Annafrid, and something else. I can't remember the final one. Bjork?
Yeah, probably.
I think it's Benny and Bjork are the 2 guys, and then there's like Agnetha and Annafrid are the 2 women.
Yeah. I just happened to watch, because ABBA was the show for tonight, I was watching some things about them, some interesting facts about them, and I saw an interview and I played it, and that's how they explained it. That was the first letter from each person's name.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did know that. No, I still think it's amazing that a Eurovision Song Contest winner went on to have as much success as ABBA did. That's crazy.
I think they had a lot of things going for them. Their songs were catchy and easily playable live. Their lead singers, the two girls, were absolutely gorgeous and also very talented. So they weren't like Taylor Swift. You know, they actually could sing well.
That's actually my reason for liking the B-52s. Or part of my reason for liking the B-52s is both the girls in it are very nice to look at, and they're like good singers too.
Yeah, the tall redhead's kind of cute.
Oh yeah, Kate Pearson is my favorite of the two. Yeah. They're both nice.
Is that would you say that that's your favorite female-led band? I guess it's not really female-led, is it?
B-52's... No, I was going to say Fred Schneider's the lead singer.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, but that said, he doesn't sing in Rome. You know, like Rome, if you want to, Rome around the world. Yeah, he doesn't sing in that, and that's one of my favorite B-52 songs. So there you go.
I think my favorite female led band. It's a close call, but it's got to be Garbage. I can't remember her name.
Shirley Manson.
Shirley Manson, right? I was getting there. And the girl who sung "Take My Breath Away."
Oh, who was that? I can't even remember.
Wasn't there?
Is that Berlin? Was that Berlin?
Berlin. That's who it is. It's Berlin. Yeah. I don't remember her name either.
I don't know the singer's name, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the band was Berlin.
I had their album, that album that came out before that did Metro and all the other songs that they were famous for. And did you ever look at? You probably didn't have the album, but I looked at the back of the album and it explains, you know, this guy does this instrument and this guy does this instrument and this guy does this instrument, and it came to her name, and maybe I'm dreaming this. I don't know. I'd have to go out on the internet and do a search, but it said the name of the lead singer, and it says vocals, melodies, background music, blowjobs. I was like, I stopped, I looked at it, and I read it again. I was like, that says blowjob. I was a young kid, you know. I was like, hopefully, I guess, I don't know. Was it a joke? I don't know.
It was almost certainly a joke.
I would hope that it was a joke, but I was like...
Mixing chat says Terry Nunn is the name of the singer. So there you
Terry Nunn. There you go. Very pretty voice.
But there's a lot of female-led bands that I really, really like. What's it called? The Pretty Reckless with Taylor Momsen. They're really good. Obviously, Nightwish has had female lead singers.
Yeah, they've all been amazing.
Epica in the same genre is another one with Simone Simons. No, there's a ton. I'm like trying to Hailstorm. I don't like Hailstorm as much anymore, but like some of their early stuff is like really, really good with Lizzie Hale. There's a lot of female-led bands that are really, really good.
Go-Go's had Belinda Carlisle.
Yeah, they did. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Hart.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Nancy and Ann Hart. Who's the band that did Walk Like an Egyptian?
The Bangles.
Bangles. They had that cute little brunette. That sang in that. She was hot.
Yeah.
Wasn't I don't think it was a band, but Patti Smith. I admired Patti Smith.
Oh yeah, Patti Smith. The Dixie Chicks were pretty talented too. I mean, they got in a lot of trouble with their attitudes, but they were attractive.
They are another example of why you don't play politics.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of ended the band, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, they changed their name from the Dixie Chicks to the Chicks because of the drama around their name, which I think is stupid. Johnny mentions Bandmade. I've never listened to Bandmade, but Baby Metal. That's the one I'm thinking of. Baby Metal I did really like. The Veronicas, I don't know much about the Veronicas.
Unlike most of my friends, I like female bands. Not
yeah.
They don't necessarily mean have to be all female, but a band that has a female singer in it, I have a tendency to like them more.
No, one of my favorite bands for a while was called Rilo Kiley with Jenny Lewis as the lead singer. There's lots of really, really good bands that have female singers.
Usually when it's a female, a lot of female singers are not in bands though. A lot of them are like singer-songwriters. You got like Sarah Bareilles, stuff like that.
Six in chat mentions Lita Ford, absolutely.
Oh my God, Lita Ford. Holy crap. She only had one really big hit, but she was a force. Joan Jett. Yeah.
No, there's no shortage of extremely good female singers.
Yeah. One of my friends is like dead set against it. If it's a female, if a band has a female in it, you won't listen to them.
That's silly.
It is silly because you're putting everybody at a disposition. I mean, he is kind of a sexist guy anyway, though. Huh?
I will say, like, obviously, if he just dislikes feminine vocals, then I guess that's up to him.
That's the reason why he won't listen to him. He's like, girls' voices suck. They're all thin and they're high and they're terrible.
Well, then he's wrong. That they're not all like that. But
yeah.
But if that's his preference, then I mean that's his preference. I think he's missing out on quite a lot of extremely good music. But I mean that's up to him if he doesn't want to listen to it.
Well, female vocal cords are a little different. They don't really have.
Oh yeah, of course they are.
You know, because of the way their throats are structured in general. God, we're not talking about specifics here. But I don't know of any guy who has a whistle range. Do you?
No, but
possible, right?
I think that there's obviously extremely talented singers of both sexes. Is my point. I don't think that only listening to females or only listening to males. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, and people have their preferences. If they're hell bent on only listening to men sing,
I mean, he's kind of a metalhead too. Maybe that's the reason why he likes people screaming into the microphone. So women really can't do that very well. You know.
Okay. And Gunsky says, I only listen to Barry White.
Barry White. There's a voice. Imagine being a podcaster and having Barry White's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. The women are just like calling him, like, you know, in his Discord Oh, my God. That guy had an amazing voice. He's still alive, right? Barry White's still alive, or did he?
I don't think so. I think he died.
That's a shame. That's an amazing voice. I wish my voice was that deep.
It
is when I first wake up. When I first wake up, my voice is very, very deep. So deep that if I've been awake for a while, I can't get back to that voice even if I try.
He died in 2003, so over 20 years ago.
Wow.
And I was pretty sure he was dead.
Yeah. That would be a voice. That's like Undoomed. It's a voice that you just know immediately who that is. So distinctive. So distinctive, yeah. Or Polly. Who the fuck is that guy? We don't even talk to each other anymore, and I still give him a hard time.
Yeah.
See, for me, the one that makes me the most amused is how many people now know a Barry Manilow song.
Oh, right.
Because of Copacabana.
Yeah. No, I've got nothing against Barry Manilow.
Is that his biggest hit? Is Barry Manilow's biggest hit Copacabana?
I mean, I would imagine so. I couldn't tell you for sure.
I don't know that it's his biggest hit, but for one that most people know, yes.
Is I Write the Songs? Is that him? I write the songs that the whole world sings.
I think that is.
I write the songs with love and passion.
Yeah, that's it. That's Barry Manilow. He also did Mandy, which I only know from The Simpsons.
You came and you gave without something.
That's the one.
You're not going to get over on me with older singers because I lived back then.
Yeah. I'm saying I'm saying the only reason I know the song Mandy is because of The Simpsons.
Right, of a much younger show. Yeah, you don't know about him because of you weren't alive when he was around, I guess. Or listening to that kind of music. What about Isaac Hayes? He had a very distinctive voice. I can't be as low as him either.
And Gunsky says, I still love Barry White on The Simpsons. You people make me sick. Yep. That was a good episode with Whacking Day.
Yeah. Right. When I think about episodes with Simpsons, and my mind goes to the Michael Jackson one where the entire time the guy was a fake Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah. Leon Kompowski.
Good times.
Mm-hmm. And the birthday song that they wrote for Lisa.
I just skipped that entire generation of watching TV. No Family Guy, no Simpsons, none of that stuff.
Well, you didn't miss anything with Family Guy, let me tell you that.
Well, isn't that the one with Seth MacFarlane?
Yep.
Stewie?
It's not good. Yeah, that's the one.
That was pretty popular, wasn't it?
It was. And then it got cancelled, and then it came back. And from what I've heard, after it came back, it was just never the same. It was always a lot worse after that.
Yeah. But I never watched it. I mean, I can see in my head the intro to The Simpsons, but
yeah.
I mean, but it's just not my. I don't really like cartoons. The only cartoon I can really watch is like Archer, and that's not really a cartoon per se.
What was the name of it? Sorry,
Archer.
I don't think I know it.
It's about a spy company.
Okay.
Very much a James Bondy kind of guy that's really dumb, and his mother owns the agency.
Okay.
And they have some really odd personalities in the show. And his big thing is someone will say something that's a little blue, and he'll say phrasing because they say things the wrong way. That's Archer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Simpsons is another one of those ones where a lot of the other problem they have is because they dragged it out for so much longer than they should have.
Yes, absolutely.
They absolutely should have ended the series a hell of a long time ago, especially when people were aging out anyway. Because,
but yeah, I know the phrasing meme off Twitter, but I didn't know the name of the show that it was from.
It's one of those things, like, even if you weren't really a cartoon guy, I could see you going back and seeing the odd Simpson episode and understanding why it was funny. But because it's so goddamn long, I wouldn't either, because it's just like, well, where would you go? South Park is actually really like that, where the original episodes, do those and you're fine. Go past that and you're like, you dragged this out too long. And then you just started.
My issue with South Park is they started getting topical.
Yeah.
If you watch like the first maybe 5 seasons, then South Park is essentially a completely fictional location. Like, obviously there is a real South Park in Colorado, but the South Park in the show is not that South Park. It's just a land of craziness. But then after a while, they started, like, in one season, Mr. Garrison is a complete stand-in for Trump, and I didn't like that. And too much of our reality started seeping into what should have been a completely fictional setting, and I found that took away a lot of the experience. I didn't like it as much after that.
Basically.
Futurama was the one with the robot, right? And the girl with one eyeball.
Yeah.
Futurama is the one with you know the soundbite. Oh wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even more. That's pretty common. Is like, ha 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 ha. Oh wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder.
I thought that was J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man.
No. That one is he's laughing and goes, you serious?
Right.
Yeah, no. This is, oh wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder. And then he laughs even harder. This is a similar but different quote.
I haven't seen that one. I'm familiar with the J. Jonah Jameson version.
Yeah.
There's a South Park in
Take My Money
Texas.
is also Futurama. Oh, apparently there's also a South Park in Texas, according to
Shut Up and Take My Money. I think that's I think that came from Benny Hill. I'll buy that for $1. I think that's where they came from.
The actual quote, "Shut up and take my money." They always have a picture of Fry from Futurama with a handful of money. He wants to buy. I believe he's buying anchovies in that.
Good news, everyone.
Yeah.
I know some of these phrases.
That's Professor Farnsworth. He's doing the Good News, everyone.
Well, for me, that's World of Warcraft. You're fighting this guy who's a toxic guy. He's a boss. I think I don't remember what version of, was that the Citadel? Where was that? But he's got tubes and he's spraying shit all over the floor. And he'll pause and change tactics and he'll say, "Good news, everyone."
Oh, okay.
And exactly that kind of voice, too. It's pretty funny.
Gunsky says, I buy that for $1 is RoboCop. I know it's from RoboCop. I don't know if it's from anything.
Benny was way before that.
Because I actually know the phrase "I buy that for $1" from a game called Smash TV. Obviously, it was a RoboCop reference, but I didn't know that when I played the game because I was only a kid. But yeah, Smash TV is a video game, and one of the things is like, "I'd buy that for $1." And then when I saw RoboCop, I was like, "Oh, that's where Smash TV got it from."
You want snoo snoo? I've heard the term "death by snoo snoo." That used to be Henry and Jeannie from YouTube. That's where I heard it from.
Well, snoo snoo, I believe, is basically just sex. But in Futurama, there's these like giant women, and they sentence, I think it's Zap Brannigan, Kif, and maybe it's Fry. Anyway, there's three of them chained up, and like they get sentenced to death. They all look panicked, and then they go, "Buy snoo snoo," and then everyone except Kif goes, "Oh, nice." It's like,
oh, okay. Well, in that case,
yeah.
All right, we've got 9 votes, and it's 5 of, almost 5 of, 6 of.
Yeah, it's actually a tie between 2 of them at the moment.
Is it?
So your tie-breaking skills will be required.
Oh, I'm voting for Dancing Queen.
Well, then that will not break the tie.
That will not break the tie. It's. I think it was a good mix of songs. Actually, I thought Dancing Queen was going to win it.
So did I.
It's like one of their most. I think Mamma Mia is the only thing that's even more popular.
Yeah,
I was going to do. Yeah, that exactly. I was going to do SOS because Dancing Queen was a little too popular.
I guess not.
So I was like, maybe I should put SOS on there because Dancing Queen's going to be a taker, and then of course it's not because I can never.
It actually gets the least votes.
Of course it's getting the least votes because the one I thought was going to win. That's why I got the least votes.
Yeah.
I think it's because a lot of people got hyper focused on the Mamma Mia song, especially with the re-release of that movie.
Yeah.
Like they really amped that song particularly. And I think it's because of the girl who played her daughter. Like, I can't remember the actress's name, but she kind of went on to a whole slew of movies. So I kind of got the impression that's what Hollywood was doing, was like, hey, this is our new superstar. Let's pick her song.
It's a great song. The problem is it was old enough that it wasn't produced very well. If you listen to it from YouTube, even on high audio settings, it's kind of muddy sounding. It doesn't sound very good. All of the later stuff, like remixes and what the Abbatines did and all that kind of stuff, the production quality is much better. So, of course, you heard that they're putting out a new album, right? ABBA's putting out a new album.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're going to do a virtual tour where they appear on stage in virtual bodies with their old head with their old heads.
That's weird.
No.
Not
old as in age, but old as in the heads they had when they made these songs popular.
Oh, okay.
Virtual avatars. But they will be backstage doing the singing, but the avatars will be out front miming them. So it'll look like the avatars are singing. I think maybe the girls are a little concerned that their looks aren't what they used to be.
Probably.
No, that's probably why they're doing it. Oh.
I'm just picturing like a huge production, but it's Funko Pops.
I think the technology's come a little further, but
and
that would be funny.
I can actually prove Q Continuum wrong. He says, "Hi all, only real ABBA fans know it's funny living in a rich man's world." I am not a true ABBA fan, but even I know that song. So, no, it's not just the diehard ABBA fans who are familiar with the song.
I have a lot of ABBA songs because it is kind of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I do have a lot of songs because I used to listen to this kind of music. But I don't know if I would consider myself a fan. It's not like I have all of their albums on vinyl or anything like that.
I only know the music from the movie and the, basic album, which is what the movie's based off of.
Yeah. So there's like, what's, Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight, there's Mamma Mia, Super Trooper. That would have been a blockbuster if I would have added that. Fernando would probably have been a good choice because that's good but not credible. I really can't think of any other ABBA song.
Like I probably can't think of them off the top of my head, but if you said the name of one, I'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. But yeah, I'm not an ABBA fan to the extent of memorizing, all their songs. But if you said like Fernando, it's like, oh yeah, I do know this song Fernando.
The only other one I can think of is Winner. The Winner Takes It All.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, that's the only other one I can think of. They have a lot of songs.
Yeah, I'm like indifferent, I suppose, to ABBA. Like I don't hate them or love them. They're just they're there. If someone plays an ABBA song, I'll listen to it, but it's not something I'd ever actively seek out.
It's novel because they are very popular and they're European. So from American perspective, it's kind of like, ooh, a foreign band that made it big. Yeah. It's like a pop version of the Beatles.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm guessing I'm gonna have to vote for one of these, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yes, if you want to break the tie, it will have to be either Waterloo or Take a Chance on Me.
That's tough.
That is the groan of approval. He's delighted with the
way. Well, let's do this by committee. If you had to pick between those, who would be your choices?
Take a Chance on Me, I guess.
Yeah.
We have consensus.
There you go.
I am overruled. I would have picked Waterloo. Because of course
you can pick whichever one you want. I'm not.
Because I'm always wrong. Because I'm always wrong. Oh, somebody else chose. Somebody chose Waterloo.
Someone broke the tie. Waterloo has indeed won.
Oh, good. I better end up all quick before someone picks it.
Yeah, before someone gets any wise ideas.
Thank you, whoever saved me from hell.
Yeah.
Trying to pick between those two.
So
I hate breaking. In case you haven't realized, I hate breaking the tie.
Yeah.
You guys should wait until we give a tie, and then you should vote until and see if that breaks the tie or not.
I can do that if you prefer, because I normally just vote right away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll forget.
I typically know which one I want to vote for anyway.
Well, if it's a tie and you guys hadn't voted yet, I could always prompt you guys and say, "Hey, now's your chance to break the tie and let you guys do it." That way, I don't have to bear.
Then we both
vote opposite things, and I have to go in and do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be funny for the sake of doing it, but
Yeah, no, I'm not saying we should plan it. It'd be funnier if it just happened that way.
No.
And Rotten Corp is apparently the one who broke the tie. So yes, thank you, Rotten.
Yeah, I really don't like breaking the tie. What I did, I've had virtual dice once, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like doing it. I don't want to be responsible for the outcome. The whole point of the poll is to make sure you guys are responsible.
And Keith has an interesting point. 40% of the people voted for Waterloo. 60% voted for not Waterloo. Everything except Waterloo wins.
That's funny.
Faultless logic.
Technically true. Technically true.
Yeah. And now Keevadam is claiming to be the one who broke the tie. So, Rotten and Keeve, you'll have to fight it out.
Just kidding. It was Rotten Corpse. All right. Well, now that we've broken the tie, we can end the show.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's terrible. Well, we didn't get to any real topics tonight, so
no, not a single one.
At least we're consistent there. Oh man, it really comes down to being mindful of the show times. What it comes down to.
Yeah. I mean, the topics are good in case the conversation stalls, and then we've got something that we can start the conversation up again with.
Yeah. There's just in case we run out of things to say. With me in the show, that's never going to happen. So
there you go.
So, unless you guys have anything else, we can get out of here then.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, thanks, Ron, for breaking the tie. I appreciate it. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting last night. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember, the Minions are live every evening except Tuesdays, with most shows starting 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Post and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. That show usually starts about half an hour before YouTube, and that's where all the fun things happen. We can say whatever we want to say there. Of course, we'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. We made it through the show without the power down situation, so
true.
That's a win. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good one, everybody.